as we pursue your goal, that goal that you're after, we have to address that now we have a problem, because now that you're clear on this goal and you know exactly what you want, it immediately feels like you're in a state of lack. You don't have this thing. You are not this thing just yet, right? You just officially signed a contract basically to be unhappy until you accomplish that goal. So what do I say to that? I say, screw that. We're not gonna be unhappy. We covered how to handle that already. But you are in a state of lack. And a state of lack, when you don't have, you feel like you don't have, like you have this desire for this thing. A state of lack is one of the lowest states in the frequency. It's a low frequency state, one of the lowest states in the frequency chart. And as you know, whatever you put out, the universe tends to give you more of it. So if you're putting out this low frequency energy, guess what's going to happen? You're going to keep getting low frequency stuff, which is all the negative feelings that we have. We're going to have this scarcity mindset. We're going to be thinking limitations. We're going to be operating in excuse mode. So we first need to change your state. And one of the highest frequency states you can get into is the state of appreciation. So here we are trying to accomplish this goal. We're in lack, but we're in a state of appreciation as we pursue this. I was once at a family gathering, and I was seeing my nieces and nephews, and there's this kid that their parents just always buy them new toys. Every single time they have a new toy, they play for it for like 5 minutes, and then they get bored of it. They can't be bothered with it anymore. And guess what happens next? They want another toy, but they're not appreciating. So next thing you know, this this little brat, right, who's ungrateful, is throwing a temper tantrum because rightfully so, their parents said, no, no more toys, and you have to behave and you have to do certain things, right? And you don't have to earn it because you're not valuing it. And I mean, shit just hits the fan. You know, the kid's throwing out these big scenes. You know what I'm getting for. An ungrateful kid, a brat, right? So imagine if you keep giving this kid more stuff, but they don't value it. They break it. They throw it away. And they're not even grateful for it. Sooner or later, their parents are going to be like, well, hell no. Why am I going to keep buying you stuff, right? And you would probably do the same, no? I mean, at least I would. Well, God, the universe, our creator, whoever you believe in, works the same way. We've been given opportunities left and right. We've been given toys. We've been given a brand new day. But here we are being the ungrateful brat, that kid who's not grateful for it because we're complaining, we're in a state of lack, we're thinking in scarcity and shortages, we're making excuses, we're whining, we're complaining, we're depressed, we're low, we're pissed, when we should be so grateful that we're alive. Just imagine this. If I gave you $1 billion today, would that make you happy? You would probably be like, heck yeah, I don't have to worry about money. I can buy a house. I can do all these cool things that I want to do. I don't have to ever worry about money again. All right. But I give you that $1 billion, but you can't wake up tomorrow. Would you take it? Every single person I've asked, they said no. I'm like, how come? A second ago, you wanted the $1 billion. Well, what for if I can enjoy, if I can do anything? So we're basically agreeing that waking up another day is worth more than $1 billion. Yet here we are, being the ungrateful kid, the little brat who doesn't value it, and is gonna waste that day, waste that gift to negative emotions, to negative feelings, to operating in a mediocre version of them, right? We are doing the same thing, so the universe is not gonna give us any more. It's not gonna give us any more of the stuff we want. Why? What for? If we're not gonna value it, we're gonna just squander it and be a little bitch about it. Little brat, right? So it's the same thing. Until we start appreciating what we have, we can receive more. We have to raise to that higher vibration of appreciation, not in operating in this low level lack. Because if we stay in lack, we're gonna experience more lack. And if we appreciate more, we go up in value. We're gonna receive more because the universe is gonna be like, hey, Octavio's like crushing it here. He's grateful and he's doing the best he can with everything he's given. I'm gonna reward this person, right? Just like you would reward a kid who gets the good grades, or who's behaving, or who works hard, or who's improving. Same thing. So don't be that little brat. And remember, we got to change that vibration. Second part here, we have to detach from the outcome. A lot of times we put in all this effort, we work hard, we sacrifice, we hustle, and we don't get the outcome we want. We don't get the results. We get so pissed and frustrated. And a lot of times it's because we're closed to receiving. Back in 2008, I was a rebel kid and living in Juarez, Mexico. And I was around the worst environments with violence, with drugs, with all the stuff that you can imagine in Juarez, Mexico, right? And I had a girlfriend that I thought I was gonna marry, but she would constantly cheat on me. And I was so low in my life that I would forgive over and over again. She would do it over again. And I would forgive her just to not lose her. Hey, let's work on this. I would beg her. And she was like, okay, The next thing you know, she's cheating on me again. I had to move to the US because I was 3 times almost killed in Juarez. So I had to move to the US, not because I wanted to, but for my safety. I couldn't see this girl anymore. I lost all my friends who were partying with my girlfriend anyway. So I don't know how much of a friends you would call that group, right? Moved into this place in the US where I don't speak the language. I can't get a job. Starting to go to college for engineering and I can't even pass a single class. I end up dropping out. Can't get a job. Can't get a girlfriend. Can't get friends. I'm so alone in my life. And I'm working hard and I'm going to interviews and I'm going to the gym trying to get in shape. Then I hurt my back. I can't walk for like 4 or 5 days. I'm depressed, locked in my room. I order like 4 pizzas, eat it, and don't leave the room for like 4 days. Then get back to it. I'm like, I'm gonna give it a try again. And I was working hard. I was going to interviews. I was showing up to this place that I wanted to work at every day at EP Fitness for 6 months and I can't get hired. Oh, you don't speak English. Oh, you're not certified. Oh, we don't have openings right now. I'm this loser here living in the US with my parents, lonely, suicidal, secretly suicidal because I'm busting my ass. I'm trying my best at school before I drop out, of course, and I was not receiving. It's because I was closed off. I was vibrating low. Yes, I was putting in the effort, but I was vibrating too low, and I was not grateful for each day. I was just going through each day pissed, sad, all these roller coasters of emotions, anger, grief, guilt, shame. Why would I receive more? I wasn't grateful that I was alive, that I had legs, that my parents brought me to the US to have a better life, and so that I could be alive, that I had food on the table, that I didn't have to worry about many things like paying for a home, for a roof over my head. I wasn't grateful that I was healthy. I wasn't grateful for all these gifts. I was just focused on what was lacking. I was lacking the girlfriend I wanted. I was lacking the job I wanted. I was lacking the income I wanted. But here I am, surrounded by gifts, by blessing. I had my parents, my sisters. I had a bright future ahead of me, even though I didn't know it, right? But I was breathing air. If I was operating at a higher frequency all that time, I think I would have gotten out of that hole way faster because I would attract better things. When you vibe higher, you attract, you become a magnet. And that happened. After a while, I actually started to make progress in the right direction. I started to change my mindset. I started to listen to these helpful things. I started to study and go to seminars, and my mindset shifted. And so I became, fast forward in a few months, I became fucking magnetic. I didn't even speak English, and I was closing people that, white people that spoke no Spanish. I was coaching them like in sign language, like trying to like demonstrate stuff. But I was so fired up. I was in such high state of appreciation, of excitement, enthusiasm, passion. It was irresistible to them. It was irresistible to my clients. And I was so fired up and happy. I was so proud because like, man, I did this just by shifting my mindset. I didn't have to get a college degree for this. I didn't have to, it was just a mindset shift that led me to operate different. And of course, operating different, you get a different outcome. But I was detached from the outcome. I'm like, I don't care if I crush it or not. I'm just gonna make the best of today. I choose to be happy. I'm gonna be the best for my clients today. And that's all that matters. I'm gonna empty the tank today. I'm gonna be grateful today. So I'm telling you here, we cannot operate in this state of lack if we are serious about accomplishing these goals of yours. We're serious about creating this dream life. You have to immediately move up that scale. And like I said, the state of appreciation is one of the highest frequency you can get in. When you're grateful, when you're loving, when you're in acceptance, when you're completely detached from the outcome. 2008, 2009, 2010, I was too attached to the outcome. And anytime I didn't get my way, I was pissed. Wanted to kill myself. I was sad. All these things that we don't need to go deeper into. It all starts by shifting your frequency. And later on, we're gonna cover many, many ways we can increase your frequency. But first of all, right now, you gotta learn that appreciation. You gotta realize, you're not learning this, you know this. You gotta realize waking up each day, no matter what problem you have, it's worth more than that $1 billion.